Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and I, we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Dev Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.
Welcome to the Kulturecast. I am your host, Chris Stachiw, and I'm joined as always by my co-host, confidant, and pitbull to my John Wick, Mr. Eric Kniss.
Pitbull as in like the musical artist, or like Pitbull as in like the dog that he saves at the end of the first movie?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, just that pitbull, yeah.
Okay, as long as I'm that Pitbull, I'm totally good with it.
God, that's awful.
I mean, I like the dogs. I just, I don't know. The singer is, I think, more my speed.
On this episode of the Kulturecast, we're going to be talking about a film that's a little John Wick, a little Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, and a whole lot of Charlize Theron.
It's true.
Tits?
Oh, my God, yeah. We'll talk about it.
That movie is Atomic Blonde. The film is directed by first-time director David Leitch, who is actually directing the next Deadpool film, so prepare yourself for that.
Well, he also co-directed the first John Wick.
Yeah. He's also a previous stuntman as well.
This all makes sense. Everything is coming together.
Yeah, right. And it stars the aforementioned Charlize Theron and the one and only crazy man of cinema himself, the bald... He's constantly bald in every film I've seen him in, like the last 5 films I've seen him in.
Yeah.
Mr. James McAvoy. The IMDb synopsis for the film is: an undercover MI6 agent is sent to Berlin during the Cold War to investigate the murder of a fellow agent and recover a missing list of double agents.
I chose this life. And someday, it's going to get me killed. But not today.
Lorraine Broughton, expert in intelligence collection and hand-to-hand combat.
Agent Gascoigne was killed last night. Did you know him?
Enough to say hello.
He had an atomic bomb of information. Find out who's hunting our operatives, and trust no one.
David Persons, your contact.
Welcome to Berlin. I'm David. Don't shoot. I've got your shoe.
That was me from the moment my feet touched the ground.
This was never part of the plan.
It was part of mine.
I've lost the target.
What do you know about this woman who's been following me?
You look like you need saving.
So you made contact with the French operative?
Obviously.
They say I'm possessed. It's the omen. Keep it 300. Like the Romans, 300 bitches. We're the Trojans. Baby, we living in the moment. When I ain't finished, I'm devoted. And you know it.
clock is ticking, and everyone you get close to ends up dead.
Someone set me up. Someone from the inside. Now, this only ends one way. A bullet.
Ready for action. Reach out, touch, babe. So follow me, I couldn't ship out the door. Reach out, touch, babe. But there's nowhere to go, and there's no way to slow. If I knew what I knew in the past, I would have been like that on your ass. Reach out, reach out, reach out, reach out, touch, babe.
Oh my God, I think I love you.
That's too bad.
Reach out, touch, babe.
So, Eric, what were your thoughts about the film?
When I walked out of the theater, I was thoroughly confused. I had no idea what I just watched. The plot is insanely confusing, like on purpose.
Yeah.
The way that they told the story didn't help at all. Like the action and the way that it's shot and everything is awesome. You know, the movie is shot beautifully. It's super stylized. The action sequences are insane. But then, like, all this other stuff is, like, it just, like, hurts your brain. It's, like, a sensory overload. So it's, like, you have all this action that's awesome. And then you have all this, like, spy stuff that you're just watching and you're going, fuck, okay, now I have to follow all this spy shit. And then, like, you see an awesome action sequence and you forget all the fucking spy shit that you were supposed to remember from the last 15 minutes of the movie.
I really didn't like this movie. The like overly confusing plot that's like trying to be clever and kind of like winking at you throughout the film. It doesn't work. It doesn't work very well.
It didn't work for me either. It was, you know, I don't know.
It was overly confusing to the point where like I normally don't have to go back on Wikipedia and read about a film, but I had to with this film because when the film ended, I was like, are you fucking serious? What the fuck is going on? What happened?
I'm still not 100% on what the fuck happened in this movie.
But and the other problem is you know, we didn't get to talk about John Wick 2 earlier this year. We were going to, and then we ended up not.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a huge fan of John Wick 2. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I mean, it's diminishing returns, right? We've already seen John Wick doing John Wick stuff. So
exactly.
Right. So the second one's never going to be as good as the first one. The first one was like literally lightning in a bottle. Like you can never capture that. And
yeah, exactly.
I liked John Wick 2 more than this. This film's action scenes are good, not great. The staircase scene is the only one that I was impressed by, and I was really only impressed by it because it was a single take. That was a single take shot, which was the most impressive part of this film, was the single take staircase. Everything else was, I've seen John Wick do this better. This is not, like, this is really just like diminishing returns with an even less charismatic star. I'm sorry, but Charlize, I'm not a huge fan of Charlize Theron, and I don't think she really carried this film very well.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you mostly.
There was a reason there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue in Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah,
okay.
I guess that's true. But I don't know. I mean, this movie, we talked a few times about this movie, like before we went and saw it, about how it just looked like John Wick, you know, it just looked like Jane Wick, you know, it looked like... And I was pleasantly surprised that it was a lot more spy movie than it was... Jane Wick, but
it doesn't do the spy movie very well.
I know. So if the spy portion of the movie, which is a huge chunk of the movie, it's even, I would say that the spy stuff is really the majority of the movie, and the action stuff is just
like 4
sprinkled in
action
between.
Scenes in this film?
Yeah, but the previews make it seem like the whole movie is one long fucking action shot.
Like John Wick 2.
Exactly. And so like people are like, oh yeah, it's John Wick with a woman, and I think I would have appreciated it a little bit more if they would have played that down a little bit in the trailers and just been like, look, it's a fucking awesome spy movie that has sick ass action parts. Like, then I would have been more jazzed to go see this movie. Would my feelings on it have been different? Probably not. It's too convoluted and confusing, and I get it. When you do a spy movie, you want it to be convoluted and confusing because that's...
It doesn't have to be. Look, you don't have to completely rip off Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Like, I think they took the parts of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy that I was not a fan of, like, is he a double agent or a triple agent or what is he? They took those parts and they ran with that more than everything else. Like, Sophia Boutella's in this film for seemingly no reason.
I don't care, dude. It was my favorite part of the movie.
Well, okay, well, yeah, there's some like hardcore lesbian sex in this film.
It's great. is the best.
So there's a check mark in the left-hand corner for that versus John Wick, because there's no lesbian sex in John Wick. So
yeah, there's not even any normal sex in John Wick.
Yeah, because it doesn't need it.
This movie is based off of a graphic novel, so I don't know how much of that stuff is all pulled from that graphic novel. I don't know. It seems unnecessary, but if you want to stay true to the source material and have certain frames that, you know, are big frames in the graphic novel, then I understand why that stuff's there. Trust me, I didn't understand it any more than you did. Was I stoked to go to a movie and see Charlize Theron naked and then, you know, her and Sofia Boutella together? I was absolutely jazzed. Was I very confused the entire...
The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us. That's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Entire time, totally confused.
Yeah.
And that's really my only takeaway from this movie, is not that I liked it, not that I didn't like it, was that it confused the hell out of me, and I still don't know what to think about this movie. And, like, not in a good way, I guess, so maybe I don't like it, you know? It's, like, confusing in a bad way. It's confusing in, like, I don't get it.
I think the issue I have with this film is the way that it's told. It's told in reverse.
Oh, I hated that.
Right? And so as soon as I found out that the film was told in reverse and that Charlize Theron was an unreliable narrator, which you find out like in the first like 5 minutes of the film, once the prologue is over, you find out that it's her talking to John Goodman and Toby Jones, and she's recounting to them what happened in Berlin because she was sent to Berlin to recover this tape. It's all told in reverse with her as an unreliable narrator, so you know there's going to be a twist. You know there's going to be a twist. You've seen The Usual Suspects, and they did that in that film. It's the same thing. Yeah. Like this is a trope that we've seen countless fucking times, and every time it's so that the main character can put one over on everyone else, and that's exactly what this film does.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things where this movie is like, you can see all of the twists and all of the like weird spy shit coming from like a mile away, but when it happens, it's like you don't get any, I don't know, I didn't feel like a sense of like relief at all. It's like the whole movie was just like a song that's just like ramping up and ramping up and ramping up, and then you never get like the release at the end.
There's no climax in this film.
A bunch of crazy shit happens, and then like that's the end of the movie, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. That was my other big issue with this film, is not only is the whole film predicated on this crazy twist that changes your entire perception of the film, but also there's no climax. Charlize Theron shoots James McAvoy, and that's it. They don't have a fight or anything.
Yeah, that's it.
And then, so you understand what the big twist is, right?
That she's been the double agent like that whole time?
She's a triple agent.
Well, she was...
a triple agent. She was working for MI6 while working for the CIA, while working for the Russian German arms dealer. She's a triple agent. She's working for 3 separate people, but only working for the CIA. And even having like a terrible fake British accent.
Yeah, it was bad.
And the way the film ends is her just like in the plane with John Goodman.
Yeah.
Like the film was trying to be too smart for its own good.
Yeah, it was a lot. There was like too many layers of it trying to be smart.
Yeah. And at some point it just becomes confusing. Like the reason films like John Wick and other films are so good is because they're so streamlined. It's like it's a singular narrative. John Wick needs to kill the bad guys because they killed his dog. It's a revenge film. This film, it's like there's this and there's this and there's James McAvoy and there's Sofia Boutella and then there's Toby Jones and then there's John Goodman and then there's a watchmaker guy and then there's Spyglass. It's like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, and they're
like,
all
cut half of this shit out for real.
And they're all fucking like looking for this double agent satchel or whatever, and it turns out that that's her the whole time
because she's a triple agent.
Because she's a triple agent,
but she frames James McAvoy as the double agent. Cut half of this shit out. Half of this shit's not necessary.
Make it be half as convoluted and the movie is twice as good.
Yeah. Like, you can do the spy stuff.
I like spy shit.
But you don't have to do it like this. Even Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is much more straightforward.
I'll be honest, I didn't see that movie.
It's good.
He's Gary Oldman, right?
Yeah, I'm like Tom Hardy and a bunch of people. It's good. It's like this film, though. It's got that whole, like, who's a double agent, who's the real, like, who's the mole. Like, that's a whole, like, plot point in that film, just like it is in this film.
I feel like that's every spy movie, though. Every spy movie is who's the double agent. Can we just see one spy movie where they come up with something else that's not that?
Called James Bond.
Oh, shit.
Even James Bond had double agents.
Yeah, that's true. But it was every girl that he banged. So you always knew who the double agent was.
Or Sean Bean. In regards to the plot of this film, it's too convoluted for its own good.
Yeah, it's true.
It really detracts from my enjoyment of the film as a whole, like you said. Okay, well, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with more discussion afterwards. Movies have become a portal to a vast and growing pop culture universe, but you don't need to go over the rainbow to get your pop culture fix. Just head to Rainbow Comics, Cards, and Collectibles. They are your one-stop shop for comics, toys, posters, games, and more. Not a pop culture nerd? No problem. They have something for everyone, including a wide array of sports cards, collectible card games, even memorabilia. Stop by one of their 2 locations today. The flagship location at 3310 South Minnesota Avenue, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or their newest location at 1501 Pine Lake Road, Suite 17, Lincoln, Nebraska. Most importantly, don't forget to add them on Facebook for pop culture news, weekly live videos, and special events.
And we're back.
And we're talking about Atomic Blonde. So, we talked about the plot already. Let's address the elephant in the room. How much of a ripoff this film was trying to be of John Wick, and how much it ended up really not being a ripoff of John Wick.
Yeah, I don't know. I appreciated the fact that it was not as much of a ripoff of John Wick as we both, I think, were initially thinking that it was going to be, just like based on the trailers and everything. The action sequences and this movie, in a lot of points, are very highly stylized, very similar to John Wick. You know, the use of the music and the use of the lighting and the color palette of a lot of the sequences. There's a lot of like cool, like sort of backlit, like neon sections that are really, really great. And the use of like music and everything is sort of punctuated like throughout different parts of the movie. It was used in some sections that were good and some sections that were like a little bit jarring. Walking out of this movie, I didn't feel like it was a straight ripoff of John Wick, which is good because that's what I was afraid that it was going to be. But at the same time, you can totally tell that the guy who directed this movie was the assistant director on John Wick, because it still totally has that flavor. Not that it's a bad thing. John Wick's great. John Wick's amazing.
It's one of the best action films of like the last 5 years.
To have more movies that are styled in that vein and feel like that movie without being a blatant ripoff, I say fucking let's do it, dude.
I would agree, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like we don't have to go there. You know what I mean? I feel like we don't have to go to John Wick. We can go elsewhere and it's just as good. Like and realistically, like you said, this movie doesn't really like play into John Wick. It's really a spy movie.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. I mean, in my opinion, it's worse. If this movie had ripped off John Wick probably a little harder, I don't know. It may have been better because the plot may have actually made sense.
Yeah.
Again, John Wick's plot is pretty straightforward in the first one. I mean, it's almost a joke at this point. You killed my dog, now I have to kill all of you.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, that's a joke. It's funny to say it outside of the context of the film. But in the film, you're like, fuck yeah, he's going to kill those people because they killed his dog.
Yeah. They fucking stole his car and killed his dog, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck him up.
Dude, I would fuck somebody up if they fucking stole my car and killed my dog.
So much of this really comes back to like what makes John Wick John Wick. The hyper stylized action, the use of like gore and blood, the use of color and lighting.
Totally.
Like her hotel room in this film is like blue and red.
Yeah.
It's very like John Wick color palette. I mean, the poster for the first John Wick is like purple and red. And then the poster for the second John Wick is purple and red. Or like, I guess more purple, but the first one is like, you know, blue and green, red. You know, this film is kind of just trying to ape it. I think it was trying to draw that audience in, the John Wick audience in. But I feel like myself, who was expecting that and then got a really convoluted spy film instead, I really kind of wish it had really gone farther towards John Wick. It may have been more successful.
It's possible, yeah. I was pleasantly surprised, like I said, that it wasn't more of a John Wick ripoff. And I was kind of jazzed on that. Would the movie have been more successful had it been a John Wick ripoff? And I mean, I don't know, maybe.
The other thing that John Wick has that this film doesn't have is a memorable lead and memorable supporting characters. I'm sorry, but Charlize Theron is not. As Lorraine Broughton, the Atomic Blonde, she's okay.
Yeah, she's not bad, but she's not like this character. Like nobody in, a year from now is gonna care about, the character of Lorraine, where everybody knows who John Wick is and everybody's like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, John Wick is the fucking shit.
John Wick. Keanu Reeves is John Wick. Like, I believe that. Charlize Theron, like, I feel like only Keanu Reeves could have played John Wick. I feel like Atomic Blonde really could have been any actor.
Are you a film fan who loves the ultimate home video experience? Look no further than The Disconnected. Your host, Ryan Verrill, is your go-to source for the latest and most accurate information on home video releases, exclusive interviews with industry insiders and filmmakers, and has established a thriving community where every film and physical media enthusiast feels welcome. From hidden gems to blockbuster hits, The Disconnected brings you insider knowledge and a welcoming space to share your love of cinema. Watch every Thursday night at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific for the live announcements show and follow The Disconnected on social media to stay updated. Subscribe to The Disconnected on YouTube or on the podcast provider of your choice and dive into a world where every movie night is an adventure.
Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies. Inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
It's true. I felt like it could have been a number of people.
That's a problem for this film.
Yeah.
If your lead can be replaced by anybody, then she's not doing a very good job of kind of living in the character and having a charismatic role in the film. She's just not. And her supporting cast around her, I mean, I love James McAvoy. He was in one of my, bigger surprise films of the year. I mean, Split still.
Split's amazing.
Yeah, how crazy good that film is, and it's essentially on the back of his performance. He's given nothing to do in this film. He's like giggling like an idiot and acting like a child.
Yeah, but I mean, you find out that it's all an act or whatever, and he's actually like a way more involved spy than he lets on or whatever. So all of the supporting characters in this movie are pretty much like whatever. I kind of agree with you in the sense that I feel like almost everybody in this movie could have been replaced by somebody else, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It was nice to see Bill Skarsgård, the guy who's going to be playing Pennywise the Clown.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised to see him in this movie, and even though he's only in the movie for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. He's not in it very often.
He's in like a couple scenes, but he doesn't have like he's not like James McAvoy's character.
I don't know. The only thing I've ever really seen that guy in is that show that's on Netflix. What the fuck is that shit called? Hemlock Grove, which is like really campy and terrible and bad. So it was nice to see him in something else like that wasn't campy and terrible and bad. So I don't know. It's priming me for being able to take him seriously as insane clown manifestation from a alien.
I don't know. I'm reserving judgment on it, but it was good to see him in this film. John Goodman, kind of like in Kong, given fucking nothing to do. Literally nothing. Like, John Goodman does nothing in this film.
I kept having flashbacks to Red State in this movie because of just like the procedural thing of like the debriefing, because that's like what happens in Red State, and then he's on the other end of it here. I don't know. The movies have literally nothing in common except for the fact that John Goodman is in both of them. But for some reason, while I was watching the movie and it kept going back to the debriefing, I was like, oh, John Goodman is always getting debriefed by shit.
And then you also have Toby Jones, another fantastic character actor, given nothing to do. Like, why even cast them? What's the point?
They had all of the pieces. They had all of the pieces ready for this movie to be awesome. And it just somehow, like, they couldn't, nothing really, like, coalesced into...
No, nothing clicked.
Yeah, just, like, it almost felt like the whole movie just, like, didn't have chemistry, like, at all.
Charlize Theron and James McAvoy don't have much chemistry on screen at all.
To be fair, I feel like a lot of people and Charlize Theron don't have chemistry.
I would agree.
Yeah, it's like she's a very, like, solo human being, and other human beings have trouble playing off of her, and vice versa.
I haven't seen her in a lot of stuff that I've really liked. The only other film that, like, other than Fury Road, which it's not good because of her, the only other film that I've seen that really stands out is fucking Prometheus. And she is god-awful in that film. I mean, that film's not great, but she's also, like, one of her character is the butt of one of the funniest jokes about that film. She could have just turned left. She didn't. She just kept running forward, and that thing just rolled right over her.
Yeah, she could have just stopped, dropped, and rolled, dude.
Yeah, she always plays the same character. It's like this cold bitch.
I hope she's like a really nice person in real life. Otherwise,
probably is, but I mean, man, she's kind of typecast a little bit.
I know, it kind of sucks for her. Like, throw her in a fucking romantic comedy or some shit. Like,
I'm gonna kill you and your whole family. Not this film. Calm down.
Oh, not in this one, Charlize. Calm the fuck down.
Okay, so the other thing that was really jarring for me in this film, man, the use of the music. Good God.
In some spots, it works. When it works, you don't notice it. And then in other spots, it really, really doesn't work, and you notice it so hard. It's like really jarring.
I think it's not that it sticks out, or it's not that it works. It just kind of blends in, like, right? Like, it like makes sense in the scene.
And I think I've talked about this on the podcast a couple of times. I've noticed, like, over the past couple of years, like, how important, like, the score to a movie is. And then even beyond that is then, like, the choice of the songs you use, and then, like, where they go. And I don't know, maybe being a musician, like, makes me a little hypersensitive to things like that. But, like, it's made it tough for me to like certain movies because, like, there are parts of the score that, like, I just don't like, or that doesn't gel with me, or that I think fits poorly with the scene or with the movie in general. And so my whole way, the basic test for me to go the score or the music, you know, or the song that you chose or whatever works for a movie is, like, did I notice it or not? Did I mentally make a note that was weird, or like that shouldn't have been there? So it's like all the stuff that blends in that works is great, because that's the stuff that I'm not thinking about. That's the stuff that's just in the movie that works with the movie, that's not taking me out of the movie. But then the second I hear something that's like a little off or a little bit weird, I'm just like, what the fuck was that? And I'm out of the movie. I'm now not paying attention, and I'm thinking about the poor song choice, or I'm thinking about the, you know, weirdly mixed audio that just happened that probably some of the other people in the theater just don't give a fuck about, you know. But
well, they use like a ton of really well-known 80s songs. I mean, Blue Monday, 88 by New Order, 99 Luftballons, the German version of Major Tom. I mean, oh my God, London Call. When they use London Calling, I roll my eyes any harder. Flock of Seagulls, yeah. Under Pressure. Like, they use some of the biggest hits from the 80s, and man, it stick out like a sore thumb. For every film like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
You have a film like Suicide Squad. You have a film like this that's just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just put some cool 80s music in there. And David Leitch, in an interview, said that How do we reinvent this stuffy Cold War spy movie by throwing 80s music into it?
Okay, well, if you're going to do that, then you need to really think about the music that you're using, and you need to build the whole movie around those music choices that you're making, like they did in Guardians of the Galaxy and like they did in Baby Driver and things like that. Like, you really want to reinvent the wheel? Fucking do what those movies did to a spy movie. But, like, you just made a spy movie and then threw a bunch of music at it afterwards. You're doing it in completely the wrong order, my man.
You don't get a thumbs up for putting Der Kommissar and the politics of dancing in your movie. You don't get a thumbs up. You don't get a thumbs up for having Charlize Theron beat the shit out of a bunch of guys while Father Figure by George Michael is playing in the background. Like, that's not clever. It just feels contrived and forced and really without purpose. Like, every song in Guardians of the Galaxy is chosen for a reason. Every song in Suicide Squad was chosen because
they could get the rights to it and they thought it would make them a bunch of money.
And that's what it feels like in this film.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't feel very nuanced. Like, yeah, you use Susie and the Banshees. So what?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it, is it doesn't feel very nuanced like it does in other movies, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, and my new favorite example of this is Baby Driver.
But that's because those films are made by auteurs who focus on that kind of stuff. Edgar Wright has been doing that since Shaun of the Dead. I mean, he did that in The World's End a lot. He did it in Shaun of the Dead. He did it in Hot Fuzz. And obviously Baby Driver, the whole film is based around the soundtrack. I mean, James Gunn, like, he writes the script around the music, I think, or maybe the other way around. But, like, he puts a lot of effort into picking those songs.
The music is a really integral part to the script and vice versa. So it's a thing that when you're thinking about that type of stuff, when you're writing it, it makes a huge difference in compared to, I'm going to write something and then like, wouldn't it be cool if we just fucking played some Flock of Seagulls over this shit? That would be really cool. And in some cases, that can totally work. But when you have a whole movie that's like that, and it's just like hit after hit after hit after hit, it's, in some places it's okay, and in some places it's totally not okay. And it took me out of it, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
And they were really trying to set themselves apart with John Wick on that. And like, again, makes sense, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, it
just doesn't work. So where does this film, with its female lead, rank for you in the, where does this position among other action films with a female lead, like Alien or Terminator?
I mean, it's got to be pretty low on the list. I mean,
like you said, Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley, Lorraine Broughton.
Yeah, nobody's going to know her name. Wonder Woman was way better than this movie. And, that's a comic book female lead action movie. So
Wonder Woman was better than this movie. And I didn't even like Wonder Woman that much. Is Charlize Theron in this film better than Cara Delevingne in Valerian?
Oh, God.
There's like Sophie's Choice.
Honestly, I liked Cara Delevingne in Valerian, so
there is something wrong with you, sir. There is something wrong with you.
The more I thought about it after we did the podcast on it, I was like, I actually kind of like that movie, dude. I kind of do. I've had like a full week and a half now since we talked about that movie, so almost 2 weeks since I've seen it, and it's grown on me.
Grown on you like fungus. Mother of God.
Dude, trust the fungus. Trust the fungus, dude. Think that movie in a couple of years is going to have this like really weird cult following, just kind of like the Fifth Element does. I mean, that's the whole thing with like spy movies also, is like, is anybody clean? Is anybody like a true good guy?
They tried to have some musings on that in the film, and they came off so dorky.
Yeah, it was really dumb. I have a lot of gripes with spy movies in general, and there's like very few that I like and get into. This was not one of them.
It's a film that unfortunately cracks under the weight of its own plot.
Yeah, it's too complex and too convoluted to stand on its own. And her character is just not memorable. Like we've said, it's not a Ripley, It's not
even a Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's not even a Wonder Woman.
Linda Carter or Gal Gadot.
I'm not going to remember. What is her name? It's Lorraine?
Lorraine.
See, I almost forgot it, and I saw the movie last night. Like, in a week, I'm not going to remember any of the characters' names from this movie.
That's really not good.
But I can tell you the plot and like half the main characters from like the first 3 Alien movies.
Yeah, and there were strong female characters in the second Alien as well.
Well, and then you could even go all the way to Prometheus and Covenant, you know? The Alien franchise is a franchise that's built on strong female leads.
I really hope they never make another Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, I would be really surprised if they made a second one. I mean, I don't know how well it did at the box office, but when I went and saw it, there was nobody in the theater. It was like me and like an 80-year-old couple with like, you know, their grandkids or some shit. So
what would you give this film?
I'm going to give it like a 2, maybe like a 2.5. I mean, the parts that work in this movie are cool, are great. You know, that one long single shot action sequence is awesome. It's like 10 minutes straight of awesome action that I was like really, really into. That was great.
But it's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. The rest of it was too complicated and...
It's not complicated, too convoluted.
Yeah, too convoluted, yeah. When I say it's complicated, it makes me sound stupid.
I would give it a 2, solid 2. What do you think it has on Rotten Tomatoes?
I bet it's in like the 70s.
76. Atomic Blonde gets enough mileage out of its stylish action sequences and ever-magnetic star to make up for a narrative that's somewhat less hard-hitting than its protagonist. I don't know if I agree with the star being magnetic part.
Yeah, I disagree with that also, yeah. I think I probably would have liked this movie more if the lead actress would have been more likable, more memorable, more something.
Well, we're going to take another break and play a preview for next week's show, so we'll be back on the other side of that preview.
Slušaj me pažljivo. Sprema se nešto veliko.
Ti si porno glumac koji želi da zna o čemu se radi u filmu.
That's right. We'll be back next week with a discussion of a Serbian film. It's a truly controversial film to kick off our Controversial Films Month. I'm not sure I'm looking forward to it. I've already seen it, so I know what to expect, but I'm not sure I'm looking to it.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to watching this movie. I'm going to have to, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a rough watch.
Yeah.
Mr. Kniss, what have you been up to since we last spoke?
Nothing. Just watching movies and stuff. I've been watching The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. Have you seen this shit?
No.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good. I thought it was like a weird period piece because of like all the fucking posters and shit. Where what's her face Peggy is fucking wearing a weird period piece looking outfit, and I was surprised that it is not a period piece. So if you're like me and you don't like period piece shit and you thought that that's what it was, and you weren't watching it because that's what you thought it was, then don't let that keep you away from it. It's fucking really good. I marathoned through a bunch of it in like a day, and I'm like kind of pacing myself to like finish the rest of it. But it's good, man. It's good. I started to read It again in preparation for the movie, so stoked for that. Played a really, really nice album release show in LA this last Friday that was totally a lot of fun. Had a bunch of friends, bands playing and everything. So, yeah, it was great. And we announced that we're going on tour on the West Coast at the end of September. So if you're on the West Coast, come and fucking hang out. And we'll talk about movies and Charlize Theron's boobs.
And where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Psychomagnetics.
You fucking turd.
I don't know why. It just flew off of my tongue in this weird pronunciation that for forevermore, that's what I'm going to call it. Instagram. What about you? What have you been doing? What have you watched? We haven't even talked about this. We just launched right into how bad Atomic Blonde was.
I've been rewatching It's Always Sunny.
Oh, and you moved your sister out of your house. So now you can walk around naked.
Balls out, just hanging down. Just hang down. Yep.
God, it sounds like both of us are just having a balls hanging down week.
Yeah, right? Ball week.
It was Shark Week. It was also Testicle Week. Little known. It was Shark Week. Did you watch any Shark Week?
Watch Michael Phelps race semen.
Oh, God.
Watch Michael Phelps race a man furiously masturbating.
The man furiously masturbating wins every time.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for everyone who listened to the show. Please head on over to Kultureshock.com where you can find out more about today's episode. You can find links over to iTunes where you can rate and review the show. And also to Patreon, where you can kick a couple dollars our way. Every little bit helps. Donors get access to unreleased episodes, DVDs, and a chance to guest co-host a Kulturecast. You can also follow me. At Culture Stash and the website at Culture Shocked. Big thanks as always to Eric and Wovoka for our intro music, Lament, and Decipher for our outro song, Two Step.
Posted with the crew. You know how we do, I'm just two-step, drink in my right hand, phone in my other hand, getting to the money, oh man, two-step, posted with the crew, yeah, you know how we do.
Hey, two-stepping, know what I'm saying, 1, 2, 1, 2, Benjamin, aka the Black T, you know what I'm saying, catch me with my crew every day, two-step, phone in my other hand, like, hello? Oh, get into the money, man. Yeah.
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.